We
Whoop, whoop, whoop.
we're finally a teenager now, Joe.
Or at least the podcast are.
Well, yeah, the podcast is finally a teenager. Hopefully my internet is good enough, or my Wi-Fi is good enough. Because dual screen setup, you need two Ethernet cables. Just now realizing.
Yes.
And everybody out there, if you're wondering, use your Ethernet cables. It's a lot better than Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
Little free chicken for you there. All right, Joe.
The free chicken for you there?
That's something that we say in the military.
Okay.
Don't question it. Just no military.
Okay.
I wish I could explain things better. But yeah. Anyways, we have some interesting things on the docket for today. Not too much. Just some stuff that we literally thought of like 2 minutes before the podcast.
We occasionally have good moments.
Yeah, that BioWare and Bethesda podcast, you'll probably never see one that was that good anymore. Like that was our one brilliant spark that we sent
For
out.
now.
Yeah, hopefully once more games come out, play them, talk
Or
about
once we get better at doing this.
them. It's two dudes talking about video games. How much better can we be? There's only so much you can talk about.
Well, hopefully we can get some more people on here.
True. Although I kind of like how it is just me and you, nice cozy little chat, because I feel like me and you know the most about video games out of our group.
We might have a special guest like Jar or Avery to give us some gun or military or other knowledge. Helps liven up things.
I'm in the military. I like guns.
True, but you are not to the level of Avery just having to know everything for fear of being drafted into the militia.
I might start a series on YouTube where I talk about different guns and Call of Duty and just give my hot takes on them.
Well, barring Seth's talking about his guns and YouTube and giving us some look at Call of Duty, let's kind of talk about. So we kind of gave you a brief overview last night. If you caught us for the season, what is now going to be considered the season finale of the first season of Zed Day, did not end it on a high note.
Nope. Don't worry, Killing Floor is not going anywhere. It's just we need a break from it.
Yeah, we're not going to be playing it for a little while. It is still very near and dear to us.
The reason Killing Floor is so near and dear to us is because that was kind of the first game that we started streaming.
Well, not only that, it's the first game we started we realized we could maybe stream. So, we'll always hold, so yeah. But, so we're going to go ahead and kind of go over our weekly docket. Schedule! So, starting us off with, and this is the end of our week.
Yep.
Or, technically so this is the end of our week, so we'll be coming for the week ahead.
The gamerhouse is weird. The end of the week is Monday, the start of the week is Tuesday. Just...
because we're weird.
Follow us here, okay? So, tomorrow...
tomorrow we will be having...
Minecraft.
Chilled Out Gaming.
It could be Minecraft, could be anything. I'm hoping Minecraft. I'm having a lot of fun.
I was about to say, I think we will all be returning to Minecraft.
Yeah, so join us for building blocks and things.
Where we will also be progressing towards the two end goals of Minecraft, slowly but surely, before we start branching out and doing some interesting fun stuff.
Yep, you gotta beat the game and then you can go on to the fun things in life.
So yeah, you may notice some differences from the last time we streamed Minecraft.
That was setup.
Ha, yeah. That was us figuring out, oh, we could do this. Now it's okay. So some of us have put some time and effort into making the place look nice and functional. So now we're gonna see what we could build in it and what else we can make.
And some of us just sit around and do stupid things. Hello.
Do I have an invite to the Minecraft for the podcast studio?
I cannot find you online anywhere.
Right, well,
Technical difficulties?
I found you. Unable to connect to the world. The world is no longer available to join. Unable to connect to the world. Are you in Minecraft?
No. Yeah, it says settings for PlayStation Network, friends only, Microsoft account settings, friends of friends.
Is
Let me go back and change some of the settings for
no,
it.
it's a LAN game.
Impossible.
Just haven't seen that in a while. Did you accidentally turn your Minecraft to offline? That's a loud silence. Alrighty. So while he is taking a look at that, I am not in the podcast studio. I will continue our week. Wednesday, we will be returning and continuing some wacky adventures in GTA,
Hopefully.
and y'all will be starting a heist, won't you?
Uh,
Or finishing a heist.
we should be finishing Trevor's heist. Hopefully.
So they will be finishing Trevor's heist and then moving on to the Pacific Standard job. The finale of the original 5 heists that for GTA Online.
Okay.
And then on Thursday, we will hopefully be having episode 2, season 2 of Cozy Couch Co-op. Where me and Seth will try and fumble our way through Resident Evil 5.
I wouldn't say fumble.
No, you have more confidence in us than me.
Did you get the invite?
Yes, I am joining now.
Okay. Please enjoy this lovely background that we have.
Well, we still have no... I am underwater.
But
where am I? Seth?
The first time you actually see my inventory in this world. Oh.
Let me put away the TNT.
Joe gets a little cranky pants sometimes, and he threatens to blow up the world with TNT.
Considering it.
There we go. Boy, y'all get to see the technical difficulties live.
Trust us, they happen more often than we like to admit.
This is the problem.
This is what happens when we don't plan ahead.
No, we do plan ahead. It's just sometimes things pop up that we don't expect.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Here.
What?
So, they're in first person, and then switch.
Okay.
So we're both going to be tilted a little bit. There we go. Now we're kind of looking like we're talking to each other and towards the audience. Yay!
On third person.
That's the secret of the magic.
Yeah. Look at us go. Oh boy. Can you tell we're professionals? I mean, look at this fancy dancy table that we got.
It's white rug.
It's literally a carpet on sticks.
You know what? That's still better than some of the tables I've had in college.
You're not lying.
So, with us, so we will be continuing to play through all of Resident Evil 5 together for Cozy Couch Co-op. You may see a different team for Resident Evil 6, but it will still probably be most likely me and Seth, all the way up to Seth's single-player playthrough of Resident Evil 7.
Yay!
You got this, buddy. You can do it all on your own.
Excuse you.
I am joking. I will be right there with you. It may not be in the game with you, but I will be right there beside you. So that we will, when it comes out, we will do a stream of Resident Evil 8. And with that one, we may have to do face cam just so y'all can enjoy Seth's terror.
I might have to get a face cam for Resident Evil 7.
I still say we should do that one with Megan in VR.
Oh boy, that'll be
That'll be a stretch.
a stretch.
That
So,
may be we do one episode and then we may have to pay for Megan's therapy for a while.
he already is on anxiety medication. That little
We may have to
child.
reevaluate that plan.
That poor child will be in therapy for the rest of her life.
Megan, if you're
Yeah.
watching this, we love you.
She doesn't have internet right now, so
If you're watching this from the future, we love you.
there you go. She has 2 weeks to watch this.
Oh. And then Friday, let's see. You're streaming on Friday, correct? This is the part. Our weekends are kind of a little cattywampus at the moment because we're still figuring some other stuff out.
If everything goes correctly, I should be streaming Friday, yes.
So yes, we will continue the Resident Evil trend with. We will continue the zombie games we play because we seem to play a lot of them.
I mean, there is a lot
Wait.
that we have to go through.
Yeah, well. Okay, if we want to be fair, they're technically not zombies in Resident Evil. They're biological viral weapons that reanimate dead tissue.
That did not help
You
your
need to
case.
You need to say that louder.
Hmm?
You need to have said that louder.
Okay, it's a fucking zombie. How's that?
It's
Did the mic
zombie
pick
in
that one up?
everything but name.
Anyway,
Yes, I'll either be streaming Resident Evil 4 or Fallout 4, whichever one I decide to do.
so yeah, you will have Seth's solo stream on Friday.
Yay!
And we have not forgotten, we were just having some technical issues working towards me streaming and Seth wanting to watch because it sounds cool of Fallout New Vegas The Frontier, one of the new massive mod expansions that came out this year. Actually, a couple weeks ago.
I've seen some videos of it on YouTube. Looks fucking phenomenal.
I know, right? I'm gonna be jelly.
What if I'm able to do it before you are?
We will talk about that after the podcast.
I don't have Fallout on my computer, so don't worry.
Well, I was going to say, it's not so much that I can't play it, it's that I can't play it and have you watch it without the delay of a stream.
I mean, we could do a team viewer.
We'll talk about it after.
Yeah. Well,
Remember, it comes down to the budgetary thing of 2 lint balls and a piece of string.
by the way, that's our budget, everyone, if you were wondering. 2 lint balls and a piece of string.
Oh, and a zip tie. I keep forgetting the zip tie.
Where did you get a zip tie? Why wasn't I informed?
Christina found it.
Alright, fair enough.
You almost walked off the edge, didn't you?
Yes.
Oh wait, Joe, I got 3 bottle caps.
Alright, so apparently our budget is ever expanding into strange and unusual currencies. If we pick up some teeth or strawberries, we will really be covering all our bases on currencies.
Sorry, if you find strawberries, I'm eating them.
Oh, strawberries are important currency in hell.
Wait, what?
Thank you to whoever is watching this and got the Shadows of the Damned reference, all 2 or 4 people that played the game along with me.
Oh no, wait, I found another bottle cap. We have 4 bottle caps now.
Hey, sweet, we can almost afford a bullet.
A bullet. Not multiple, just one.
Yay, Fallout logic.
Hey man.
And then Saturday is still our blank day, so don't expect anything from us on Saturday. And then Sunday, starts off our new Season 2 of Zed Day, in which we'll be playing
World
War
War
Z.
Z.
Because it looks interesting, and the Cody edition was $20 right now. And we're all broke.
Yep.
So, whether it's good or not, we're going to play all of it because we paid for it.
Oh, Joe, did you hear about that news like a long time ago about that dude who paid for Fallout 4 in bottle caps?
No.
Yeah, he had a bunch of bottle caps, and I forgot the math, but he overpaid by like $1,000 in Fallout logic.
I.
Matt Pat did a game theory on it where he took the price of a gold bar.
Yeah. Because it gives you its weight,
Yes,
which gold is done by the ounce.
exactly. So he overpaid by like thousands of dollars if it were to be in a Fallout-based economy.
How much did he actually pay enough real price? Because I'm assuming it's the aluminum in the caps, the metal.
I don't think it was enough, like aluminum wise. Because melting metal, you lose a little bit of metal every time you melt it, so
Not to mention the degradation because of the paint,
exactly.
which is an impurity. Okay, we're gonna go briefly into metallurgy and science here, guys. Strap in.
Oh boy, I've been a metal worker for most of my adult life, actually.
Yeah. So Seth will actually enjoy with this. I have actually had to do a paper on the science behind metal of swords. What makes aluminum so unique compared to steel?
Aluminum's more lightweight and just slightly structurally weaker.
What's the Okay, let me rephrase that. What's the thing that makes it working with aluminum different than steel?
It is a lot easier to melt.
Yeah, I was about to say it has a much lower melting point than steel does.
That's why welding with aluminum is the absolute worst thing you can imagine.
Okay, at that point you're not welding with aluminum, you're soldering with aluminum.
Yeah, we call it welding.
I mean, how different is it?
You can only do it with TIG welding, which is a tungsten inert gas. So basically, you have a tungsten rod that has an electrical current through it, going through it, positive, and then you have your piece that you're working on, which has another electrical current going through it, which is a negative. So you're holding the rod and you strike off, and it starts that electrical current.
Which
Now,
creates an electrical arc,
exactly. That arc,
which is hot.
yes, that arc makes the metal melt. So, and then what you're doing is you're controlling where the metal melts so that way it fuses together nicely. I bet you're wondering, what is this inert gas that you're talking about? Well, it just helps control the arc a little bit more stable and it keeps all impurities out of the metal. How does it keep
So
impurities out? It's pushing out oxygen, carbon, and all that stuff.
here's the thing: the reason it's inert gas sometimes was it usually like neon,
We use argon.
argon. For those of you who are like, wait, I remember this in high school chemistry and getting flashbacks. Calm down. That's the most we're going to talk about them. The reason it's called inert is it reacts with nothing. So nothing gets mixed with it, nothing gets changed with it. But why do we got to remove oxygen? Fire.
Yep.
Seth's calling it an arc. If you want to look at it in a very layman's term, you have a very small, very controlled bolt of lightning. And if you ever seen lightning strike a tree or strike sand, it's hot.
Hmm.
Very hot. So,
So just think of
so
welders as Zeus, putting things together
pretty much. But
without.
here's the main thing I was going to get to you with Seth about the difference between aluminum and steel. Is that steel has to be forged, correct?
Correct.
Aluminum has to be cast.
And it's a lot easier to get your hands on aluminum than steel because steel you have to find iron, the right amount of carbon. Aluminum is just naturally produced.
Okay, easier to find, not so much. Easier to refine, yes.
Well, yeah, there you go.
So steel is making steel is a process. Iron is not hard to find. It's one of the most occurring elements in the Earth core. But
Besides
refining it
carbon.
into steel is a bit of a process.
So there are multiple methods to refine it into steel. The most common one that we use today is the Bessemer.
Mm-hmm.
But back in medieval Europe, they used to do the crucible method, which is just heat it up till it melts.
Which is actually really bad because you can. The point between which steel melts and which steel burns is a very, like, what, 25 degrees?
25 to 50 degrees, yes.
Yeah. And considering that these things are at thousands of degrees, that's a very small margin of error.
But back in
Which is why you
medieval
had so
Europe,
many steel swords break.
yeah, but back in medieval Europe, they did find a very good happy medium to where most of the time it would work.
That's also why you had blacksmiths that had years of literal training about smelting metal itself.
Yeah. Back then, it was more of an art form rather than a job.
I mean, it was still a job.
It was still a job and one that was needed back in the day, but the
Still
true,
needed, depending on who you ask.
yeah, true blacksmiths, all their pieces were works of art, though, that were functional. By
But
the
yeah,
way, if y'all want to
so
get y'all's hands on some medieval swords that are mostly reproduced back in the way of the day back then, look at Albion swords.
oh, throwing a plug in there.
Yeah, I love Albion swords. They're great. Pricey, but good.
And if anyone tells you that a sword is still not an effective tool in combat,
Guess what? Sword better than fist.
I was about to say, we still use knives. Swords are just a little bit harder to maintain, and I'm not gonna. They're heavy. I'm just gonna. They're heavier.
I still
Your
find it.
arm will get tired. Your back will get tired. Your hip will get tired of carrying it.
I still find it funny that humans are still swinging big hunks of metal at things to solve problems.
I mean, it ain't broke.
Until it's broke.
Well, even then, you're still swinging a piece of metal.
Yeah, that's when you grab it and do murder strokes.
What was the joke? It was a
And then
joke I learned from somebody in the Marine Corps of what do you call a gun with no bullets? A club. What do you call a bomb that won't go off? Very dangerous rock.
you're not wrong.
What do you call a knife that has a broken blade?
I don't know.
A shorter knife? Everything's
Just
still a
keeps
weapon.
going.
It's just, I was gonna say if it's still a weapon whether it functions as its intended purpose or not.
A dangerous rock.
Never said dangerous for who.
That bomb could go off at any time, and you're playing that game very dangerously. That is Darwinism at its finest.
I preface that I got that from a buddy of mine who's in the Marine Corps.
The army bomb doesn't go off, we call EOD.
Apparently in the Marine Corps, if the bomb doesn't go off, they pick it up and start hitting the enemy with it. You're gonna die one way or the other.
I will kill as many people as I have to, including myself, as long as you were
As
one
long
of
as
them.
you were one of them. Thank you, Vegeta, and thank you, Team 4-Star.
We reference them way too much.
Yeah, but I also sometimes I don't feel like they get enough love, so it doesn't hurt to reference them.
They took
And I think that covers that kind of segment of what's going on with this week.
How did we even get to the topic of metallurgy?
Aluminum bottle caps in Fallout 4.
Ah, there we go. Because I said I might play Fallout 4.
Yes.
Alright. You want to just jump into another topic, I guess?
Hold on, let me get the timer started.
No, not that one.
Fine, let me get the timer ready.
I want to save that one for the end. If you're wondering why Joe has to get a timer, if he doesn't cut me off, I will keep going.
We will be here for another hour and a half listening to him.
I have it tattooed on my arm.
If you start ranting, I'm starting the timer, and that's going to be it.
Okay. I won't rant. Yet. But anyways, we're gonna talk about some storytelling in video gaming and how it has evolved over the years. Do we want to start at the very beginning with Mario Brothers on the Nintendo? Or do we want to jump ahead a little bit?
I picked the worst time to take a drink, I'm sorry. No, well, if we want to, okay, we want to start at the beginning of gaming. It was a light wire experiment. They realized they could make a little dot bounce back and forth, and from that Pong was born. You want to talk about storytelling in gaming, you're actually going to go back to the video gaming arcade. What was it? Not Dragon Quest.
Gauntlet.
No, Dungeon Quest. This is an old, kind of weird game. If you ever want to know why there were so many women angry at gaming, play that game, because that was like really one of the first story-esque games. Yeah, that's what I'm just gonna leave it at that.
I mean, hey. Gotta go back to the granddaddies.
Also, but we were also kind of looking at like some great story games that had come from, well, limitations from some of the hardware themselves. Like Space Invaders was the reason for a difficulty curve because the processors could only handle so many sprites on a time, and if there was more, they would slow them down. So as they got removed, they would start speeding up.
That's a very interesting piece of gaming, if you didn't already know that. The fact that it couldn't process what was happening, so it slowly got more difficult.
As a byproduct of stuff, so the number of space invaders on the screen taxed the processors so much because like he had to like custom build them.
Yep.
To the point so as more were gone, they could process them faster, so they moved faster.
And if you just thought that that was a quirky game just because it was supposed to get faster as it got lower, no, it got faster because of hardware limitations.
Well, originally it did. I think it does that still now with great hardware, just because it's a thing.
Yeah, it was its thing. Nowadays you could have them moving all that speed, but as the last one, in which I think people have hacked it to do. But
It go faster.
yeah.
The game gets harder as you play.
By the way, Joe, have you ever beat Space Invaders? Like, killed all of them?
I can't remember the last time I've played Space Invaders, man.
Dude, I think it was back in 2010. Last time I played Space Invaders.
It might be time to bust out your Atari.
Jesus, stream that.
Okay, that's going to be a whole different set of challenges.
I mean, there are capture cards with AV outputs out there.
Yes. Again, 2 lint balls, a piece of string, 3 bottle caps, and a zip tie. That's our budget, man.
4 bottle caps.
4 bottle caps, excuse me.
Oh, wait, no, I just lost one. 3 bottle caps.
I'm taking this up to the review board.
Okay. Wait, I am the review board.
Here's gonna be one you're gonna find amazing. One of the both most strangely complex, convoluted, and yet interesting and well-known storylines was based around a hardware limitation. You ready for it?
Shoot.
Metal Gear.
Never played any of the Metal Gear games.
I thought you had.
Nope.
But you know its reputation,
Yes.
at least. Well, so the original Metal Gear did not launch for the PlayStation 1. I think it launched for the...
NES.
No.
Metal Gear Solid?
That was not its launch system. It was for a computer. I think it was launching for like a 16 megabyte computer.
Whew. I'd
Here,
love
let
to
me look that
download
up. So,
nowadays.
let me look that up.
I actually have a handy dandy computer right in front of me.
And here's the one we're all here. For the MSX2 computer in Japan. And a reworked port of the game was released for the Famicom a few months later, which saw release in the international markets for the NES over the following 2 years.
Okay, so for those of you that don't know real quick, the Famicom was the Japanese name for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It got rebranded for North America. So,
Yes.
Just a quick little tidbit of information there for those of you that don't know. Alright, continue.
Yeah. Yep, for the MSX2, which was a Japanese computer by Microsoft and the ASC2 Corporation of 1983.
Damn.
Yeah.
So what
What
was
was
its hardware limitation, Joe?
I was a little too generous. Its memory was 8 to 512 kilobytes.
Boop. Ooh. That would take no time to download at all in today's market.
No. No, and if some of you are wondering why we're kind of laughing, your phone has, what is it, Candy Crush uses more memory than that.
And for those of you that don't know, you can get Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2 on your phone. I have both of them on my phone.
Which one?
1 and 2.
Oh, the Metal Gear?
No, Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh, yeah, I did know that one actually.
Yeah. I have both
Yeah.
of those games on my phone now.
So the original design for Metal Gear was supposed to be like this really, really intense, like military shooter, kind of like James Bondy with all the bullets flying and stuff. And they realized that they couldn't do that because like the computer could not process that.
So they had to
So,
turn it into a stealth shooter.
well, because it can only handle like a few, and like by few I mean like 5 or 6 moving things on the screen at a time, including bullets. So they redesigned it so the player wouldn't shoot as much, and so there would have to be less things, and so it was more of a stealth. Yeah, they had to change to the stealth base, and because there wouldn't be as much action, they also put more emphasis on the story.
And now it's one of the best video games in the market.
It's one of the biggest video game series, the biggest budgeted.
Hmm
Well,
That, Zelda, and Mario have the biggest budgets.
Metal Gear, man.
Yeah, y'all thought Call of Duty had a big budget. Not really.
I mean, it kind of does, but
I mean, if you look at the work that they put into it, it's just reskinning the game every time.
we're not talking about that one this podcast. We'll save that for another one when we're
Okay, can we talk about something that I absolutely hate, and I hate doing, and why I
okay.
won't buy this game? Pokemon.
What's wrong with Pokemon?
It's just DLC every time. They rebranded it as a new game. No, it's DLC. I get more Pokemon, and I have a new set of gyms to conquer. That is not a game. That is DLC. Change my mind.
There are new Pokemon. It's a new region, new characters, new stories, same universe.
I'm not changing my opinion. I'm
So, would you
steadfast.
consider Mass Effect 2 just DLC for Mass Effect 1?
No,
I mean, it's the same characters.
not
You're
really.
doing the same kind of thing.
No, not doing the same thing. It's not really about the Reapers this time. It's more about the collectors.
Which are made by the Reapers.
Shut up.
That's kind of the thing about a sequel is it has very similar features with improvements, updates, and a new story, continuing off the old story.
Okay, so can we come to an agreement here that like the first 3 Pokemon games were kind of just
Reskins?
yeah.
That has to do with more of okay, part of it, and this is kind of true for a lot of early game development, is they didn't port stuff well to different systems, so different systems got different versions with different titles.
Well, no, I'm not talking about red, blue, and yellow.
I'm not either.
Because those actually had different incorporations and different things added to them. Like yellow, you started out with Pikachu and only Pikachu.
Yeah.
Red had different Pokemon from blue, which yellow had different Pokemon from both red and blue in different areas.
And don't forget about what was it? Soul or Crystal.
It was gold, heart gold, soul silver,
Nope, those were the remakes of those.
or well, gold and silver were the next ones.
Yeah, and Crystal. Gold, silver, and then Crystal. There's always a third one.
And then it was
Fire Red, Leaf Green,
fire red, leaf green.
which was kind of like a semi-remake, but not a hardcore remake.
Yeah, then it was emerald,
Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald.
Ruby, Sapphire, Emerald, and then it was Diamond and Pearl.
And then Heart Gold and Soul Silver.
Then
And
Omega
then
Ruby,
it was
Alpha Sapphire.
nope, black, and then black one, and white one, and then black two and white two. And then it was Alpha Sapphire and Omega Ruby. And then we got into
X
what
and
was
Y.
the X and Y. And then there was the Guardians of Sky.
Yep. Then there was Sword and Shield.
Nope, there was Sun and Moon.
Sun and Moon. Then Sword and Shield.
And then Sword and Shield on the Nintendo Switch.
Okay. Yeah, there's all the Pokemon games for you if you were just wondering.
Not including the side games with like the Pokemon Rangers or the Pokemon Coliseum or Pokemon XC Gala Darkness or Picto, or what was it? Something cat. The picture taking one.
And then Hey You Pikachu back on the N64.
And Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee.
And Pokemon Go now.
Which is, well, I guess which was kind of like Pikachu. I guess Let's Go Pikachu, Let's Go Eevee was kind of like Pokemon Go Light. Or Pokemon Go, you don't have to actually walk around.
Yep. Is it just me or did Pokemon Go die hard? Like,
It's still around. There's still some dedicated fans, and apparently now they have trainer battles.
yep. Took
So-
long enough. We were talking about
Anyway,
this game was out in like 2015.
something like that.
It's either 2015 or 2016. I can't remember which. And that game is 5 years old, and I still sometimes catch myself going back to it.
I mean, it's one of those things that a lot of people grew up with Pokemon, whether playing the games or the card games or watching them and watching the animes.
Yeah. Pokemon is still a good show. Believe it or not. The manga, though.
That's dark.
Oh, yeah. People die.
Pokemon died. Pokemon got eaten.
Well, I mean, come on, those Magikarp bites in the anime.
We're not talking about it.
The saddest,
Yeah.
the saddest part of the anime was probably in the Pokemon the movie, the first movie, where it's Mewtwo's creations versus the originals,
Hmm.
and just seeing Pikachu's slap each other in the face.
You mean one Pikachu slapped the other Pikachu?
hmm That was heartbreaking to me.
We also got philosophy from a synthetic creature.
hmm
Yep. Alrighty.
Just think about that for a second about how Pokemon is supposed to be a kids show and you get philosophy mixed in.
No one ever said it was a kids show. No one ever said it was targeted towards kids. It just happened to have kids in it.
Can we talk about how Ash Ketchum never ages? Even though there are millions of theories on why that is.
Yeah, no, let's not. Take off the tin hats. We're not talking about that.
Alright, boys. Stand down. Put down the tin hats. But can we talk about how absolutely ripped and buff Ash Ketchum is?
I don't know.
Alright. Pidgeotto. Thing's about 10 kilograms.
Okay.
He's just up there holding it on his arm like, what up?
You know, in shows like that, sometimes physics just does not care.
And how like there's this like meteorite Pokemon that is supposedly over like 150 kilograms and he just picks it up no problem.
Again, moments of just I don't care about physics.
Dude's ripped. That's all I'm saying. That man be
He's
hitting
also
the
the only
gym.
10-year-old with 20 years of experience. Yes, he has been hitting the gyms. That's the whole point of the show.
I just realized what I said. Shut up. It's been a long day.
You know, I got kicked out of a gym once.
Why?
I walked in there and I kind of looked around. And I walked up and said, you the owner of this gym?" He said, "Yeah." All right, cool. I punched him in the face. I said, "What? I was trying to beat the leader of the gym."
Get out. If I kick you off the podcast now, I can talk about Mass Effect for as long as I want.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding.
Okay, first of all, how did you not see that coming?
I thought this was an actual story.
Okay, you know I have not set foot in a gym in like 12. Sure, ever. We're going with ever.
Just Christina in the background destroying you.
Ever in your adult life.
When does adult life count start?
18.
Yeah, never my adult life.
I hit the gym about 3 times a week.
Well, I don't know. Does the I don't know, there was kind of a gym-esque thing at Tech I went to a lot. Had like basketball courts and weightlifting room and treadmills and stuff.
Okay, so
Yeah.
gym.
Yeah, and pool tables, and I played pool.
Okay, so you didn't go to the gym, you played pool.
Oh.
Doesn't count.
Hey, it works your mind.
That does not count as going to the gym.
Well, it had weight rooms and
Yes, but you weren't there for that. You were playing pool.
It still counts as a gym, Christina.
I still went to a gym, just didn't use any of the gym equipment.
No, you use the pool table.
I used the pool table and the vending machine.
It sounds more like a rec room than a gym.
She beat us there.
Yeah, she did.
I did what?
You beat us there.
But I don't know of any rec rooms that have a weightlifting room.
Oh yeah, and punching bags.
Dude, I've been thinking about getting a heavy bag for my house.
May I give you a piece of advice?
Go for it.
Buy compression wrap for your hands first. And start with sand.
I was just gonna get a Muay Thai bag.
Start with sand.
I can't put whatever I want in the heavy bag. They come pre-made.
Right, no. Before, say, uh, 6 weeks to 3 months before you start punching the heavy bag, just fill a bowl loosely full of sand and punch it for like an hour a day. And punch it correctly. Do not punch it sissy weak wrist. Punch it correctly.
Also been
Do
thinking
not
about,
look at me like I'm crazy.
also been thinking about getting into a boxing gym, not to professionally fight, but just to work out. You know.
You're going to be doing a lot of jumping jacks. No, not jumping. Jump rope. You're going to be doing a lot of jump rope.
I mean, I can run 6 miles, no problem. Cardio is not my problem. My problem is I'm not built, not strong. They're gonna look at me and go, he has cardio. Let's put him on the weights. And then mix cardio in with it.
Uh, you don't do. You did wrestling, right?
Yes,
How many times did y'all hit the weight room?
not very often.
How many times do you think you hit the weight room for boxing?
Not very often.
You're going to do a lot of isometrics. So I guess we're going to talk about this issue. Male body image, at least portrayed by media and other substrates, especially for men, are BS.
Yes. That's why I prefer anime. They're all slim. And they're
That's
not,
also kind of BS. But,
well,
eh,
it's a little bit more
look,
realistic.
it is.
Unless you're talking about Dragon Ball Z, then good God, Vegeta, calm down.
Okay, to be fair, Vegeta's different. We're
he's
leaving Dragon Ball.
he's built different, and quite literally.
Yeah. So, more of what we're talking about is, hey guys, guess what? All that big, pretty muscle ain't
Doesn't
worth nothing.
It don't translate.
No, it's what it is. It's pretty. It's nice. It's big. It feels good when you touch it and to look at it when it's slightly oiled. But that's about it.
Look at actual weightlifters.
I was going to say, look at the strongman competition, or look at a lot of take a look at some of the martial artists. They're going to be, if they're big, they're going to be kind of big. They're going to have a good sized gut on them, or they're going to be kind of skinny with really, really strange looking arms and elbows and have a bit of a pot belly. Hey,
Working
and
muscle
Seth has,
is different than pretty muscle.
it is. And a lot of martial artists, weightlifters, or professional fighters want something called sinewy muscle. Why do they want sinewy muscle? It's really long and really tough. So why is that good? It's harder to tear. So it's harder to injure. And sinewy muscle isn't big. So it doesn't get in the way of your movement or your balance.
Like me in the military, I could probably do a lot more than most people, but I'm not big. I am very lean.
So am I, Seth.
And me and you, we can work for hours doing heavy lifting.
Yes. Although now that I need to start working out again because I'm getting a little flabby.
I have zero flab. My body fat percentage is in the tank.
Yes, but you still have a bit of a gut, don't you?
Yes, I do.
Because you're supposed to have that. Anyone who tells you you're not supposed to have any sort of belly flab is a liar and trying to sell you something. I know there's
Too
usually
mean
an
body
or
fat.
there, but no, physically you actually are supposed to have that because that's where your organs are pressing forward against a wall of muscle. That's not always fat. That's literally wall of connective tissue. Also, you need a little bit of flab there to help support your back.
See, guys?
And here's the other thing. You could be a big dude and not be unhealthy. Even if you got like thick arms and a thick belly and you're going to have muscle under there. That's okay. Embrace your inner barbarian. Have a bit of a gut. You ain't got to be cut.
That's why you see a lot of those old dads. They're big, but they're
They
not
big,
cut.
but they still strong.
Dad bods making a comeback.
Apparently.
Dude, after I get out of the army, I'm getting a full-on dad bod.
Oh gosh.
Dude, I'm letting myself go after the army.
Well, okay, here's the best part that it makes me laugh my butt off, all right? Because Avery said he's gotten a little chubby.
Yeah.
And here's the part that makes me laugh. Avery said he's what, around 130, 140?
No, he's around like 160, 170.
Okay.
I'm the
Okay,
one
yeah.
that's
So,
around like 130, 140.
okay, no, here's the funniest part to me is most people consider me skinny, and I am still a good 10 to 15 pounds heavier than Avery.
Yeah. Bone density.
Not that dense. Gosh.
I am that dense.
But yeah, so male bodybuilder image, BS. Don't buy into it. You don't have to look like Captain America.
Eat pretty muscle.
That's also an actor on a very specific and very unfun diet. You want to know Chris Pine? Chris Evans. Is that the actor?
Yeah, that's the actor for Captain America.
Chris Evans, right. If you ever wonder why he wanted to stop playing Captain America, he got tired of the diet, which was, and I quote him, boiled skinless chicken breast and dry oats.
Yeah, and if we want to talk about diets, protein is not the only thing that you need
Mm-mm.
to get that image. Gladiators were on a mainly vegetable diet.
And I'll throw this out there. We are not dietitians. If you are having dietary issues, talk to your doctor. They are medical professionals. If you feel like you really need some help with dieting and changing your eating habits, speak to a dietitian. They actually are specialists in this stuff. They know a lot more about what they're talking about, and they can help work for you to make sure it's specific to your metabolism, your body's needs, and what your job and or field or whatever you're doing requires. Because everybody's a little bit different.
Yes.
Do not take us as the end all be all absolute truth in this.
Yes. One thing I'm going to say is I'm about to start a very unhealthy diet. I know it's unhealthy, but I want to give it a shot.
What?
I'm going to try the carnivore diet.
You're going to eat a lot of liver.
I know. I'm not looking forward to it. 'Cause I hate
I
liver.
know there's somebody that's going to listen to this or is listening to this now or will listen to this and be like, why is he saying liver? Guess what, guys? You can get everything you need from meat. It's just you have to know what meat to eat. And it's not going to be all beef shoulder or stuff. You're going to need vitamins. And if you're not pulling them from veggies or plants, you got to pull them from where the body stores them. Livers,
Liver, the stomach.
the intestines. You're going to be eating some stuff that's not just the fun fatty parts. You're going to have to eat some organs too. And liver has the most nutritional value of all the meats.
And it's the most tasteless piece of meat you can eat.
I don't know about tasteless. Beef liver has a very distinctive taste. Chicken liver's usually alright. But yeah, so gonna be enjoying your liver.
Oh, I hate eating liver. Oh, it's the most disgusting thing.
Well, you're gonna start that diet. You want to stay healthy while doing it.
It it's it's kind of like a keto diet, but worse.
So, so keto is just no bread, right? No carbohydrates.
Yeah. Your body goes into a
That's
state of ketosis.
so you're forcing your body to function without its main energy source.
By the way, guys, carbohydrates, long form energy.
Yeah.
You're going to be tired a lot for the first 2 weeks. Like, you're going to feel absolutely abhorrent for the first 2 weeks on a keto diet.
Well, and it's important to know. It's important to know your carbohydrates too. There are simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. Simple carbohydrates are like what? Sugar.
Yep.
Burn very quickly, very easily. Complex stuff would be like multigrain bread. burn very slowly, and they'll keep you energized for a while. So the more processed and the more simplified a carbohydrate is, the faster it's going to burn through.
And just from army experience, that's why on a long ruck march, we take gummies with us.
Mm-hmm. Give you a
'Cause
quick burst of energy.
mhm.
That's also why. And here's the weird thing: dark chocolate has both types.
But
It doesn't have a lot of. Go ahead.
we don't take dark chocolate with us just for the simple fact that it'll melt very quickly.
M&Ms. Oh wait, no, they stopped making those for y'all, didn't they?
No, we still get M&Ms.
I was about to say that's where M&Ms came from.
Yeah, M&Ms came from the military because
Too.
internet had a hiccup. Everybody, my apologies. So, anyways, we're not going to talk about diets anymore. Let's move on to our next thing because we're not dietitians. That's not what we're here for.
We're not dietitians. We are not nutritionalists. We don't have the training, the studies, or anything. We just have some facts and stuff we've read and some things we know from our personal experience.
Yep. So, moving on. Joe, get that timer ready.
Hey, it's ready.
Unless you don't want to do it because we only did an hour and 2 minutes.
Well, we're kind of chancing with your internet now. Yeah, his internet kicked out us on us, and so we lost y'all, and we're back for our part 2 piece. So I would say this is going to be a really short part 2. I'll give you 7 minutes to be generous, and then we can kind of close out and recap.
Alright, so anyways, guys, Mass Effect has an official release date. I think it's April 12th. It's either April 12th or May 12th. I know it has a 12 in the date, and it's in one of those 2 months. Anyways, so Mass Effect Legendary Edition has a release date. We've been getting small leaks of what that's going to look like in Mass Effect 1. Thank God they're only showing stuff for Mass Effect 1 because Mass Effect 2 and 3 just needed some small touch-ups and some small resolution boost and frame boost. And Mass Effect 1 was the one that we really needed an overhaul for, which they have actually overhauled it, including the aiming camera in Mass Effect 1. You are no longer sitting inside of Shepard's skull while you're aiming. Hallelujah. You're actually a little bit more off to the side, like a Resident Evil, like a 3D era Resident Evil game. Except you can move and shoot. Thank God
Me and
you
Seth
don't have
are
to sit
discovering
still.
that.
By the way, Joe, it frustrates me that you can't move and shoot in Resident Evil games.
Wait till we get to 6 and 7 where you can.
Oh my God, I'm gonna be so fucking happy I can move. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. That's really the only Mass Effect updates that have come about. And I think they're doing a special kind of thing with Mass Effect Legendary Edition where you can buy like this special thing and get a little tidbits plus an N7 breather helmet, but not the game. Joe, do you want to talk about that? How they're doing like a special thing, but without the game?
I mean, I am not surprised. This is not the first game. I need to remind you that a fan had to make a spreadsheet for all the different edition of Red Dead Redemption 2s, and one of like the $200 or $300 ones did not include the game.
Yeah. Good job on that one, Rockstar. You spend $200 or $300 and we still don't get the game.
So yeah, just make sure you read before you pre-order this. Make sure you are actually getting the game in there and not just a bunch of fancy knickknacks.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I'm probably gonna get that like N7 breather helmet just because that is so cool to me. Because I love the
You're gonna
breather
put it
helmet.
next to your Master Chief helmet?
No, the Master Chief helmet's at my house in Louisiana.
Hmm.
So there we go. Yay.
You're not gonna talk about the part of that that makes you sad?
Yeah, I can't wear the Master Chief helmet.
No, I meant for Mass Effect.
Oh, the fact that I don't get the game.
No, no multiplayer for Mass Effect 3.
Oh right, yeah. That that's saddening. So I don't know how they're gonna do the galactic readiness now. You know what I mean?
They're just probably gonna have to lower it.
No, it's either that or it's gonna be as you get more troops, you get more readiness. They kind of go up like the same way, but like if you get like certain story elements, it's gonna do more galactic readiness. If you do certain side elements, it gets a little bit less galactic readiness. Because that was the thing,
Well,
multiplayer built up the readiness, but you still got the same amount of troops every time if you did the same things, but the readiness wouldn't go up.
right. So you could actually do everything perfect in the story, but if you didn't do any of the multiplayer, you would only be at like 50% of the amount of resources you would need for the third, what a lot of people consider like the canon-esque ending. So you would have to grind or play hours of multiplayer to get to that.
Hmm. Which, in theory, that works, but in practice, it absolutely sucks.
And not to say the multiplayer wasn't interesting, it was a kind of PvE four-player co-op horde mode. But after you'd played as Shepard, you kind of just you didn't want to play as somebody else, some random human or Turian or Asari or
Krogan.
yeah. Nope, the Krogan were added after launch, I think.
Which, by the way, everybody was super hyped that they could finally play a Krogan.
Well, and it wasn't any of the like classes you were familiar with. It was very reduced archetypes.
Which,
So
okay,
it was interesting, but for such a heavy story player game, and they did something very similar with Dragon Age Inquisition, if I remember correctly, with the multiplayer for that one.
can I talk about the Mass Effect game that is yet to be announced? It was teased, but it hasn't been like fully announced yet.
Mass Effect 4?
Yes.
Not to be confused with the fourth game in the series, Mass Effect Andromeda. Or is that technically the fifth?
That's the fourth game.
I thought there was a mobile game between the two.
I don't count mobile games as like canon series games.
Hmm.
Even
Take
if
that
they
up
do.
with Kingdom Hearts.
Look, man, Kingdom Hearts fans will rant and rave that everything is canon. There's no fighting that horde.
Kingdom Hearts is a mess in itself, and we will not get into that.
Yeah. But I wonder if in Mass Effect 4 you're gonna play as Liara trying to revive the Lazarus Project to get Shepard back because there's another growing evil.
We're just gonna have to see. Because that is a whole snake nest of possibilities in there.
Damn
And
it!
that is your 7-minute timer.
Little caveat, I hope you can play as different races.
For Mass Effect 4,
Yeah,
it'd be nice to do more than just human.
I think we can all agree that that was worth breaking the timer for.
Alrighty. So,
Alright.
any closing remarks before we...
I just hope Aspire Media doesn't fuck up Knights of the Old Republic.
Alrighty. Well,
Because,
this has been the Monday Podcast.
yeah, this has been it, boys. We did it. Even with Technical difficulties. You're getting to see the human side of the podcast. For better or
Alrighty.
worse.
Well, definitely makes things interesting.
Yeah, it keeps the podcast on its toes. I'll tell you that much.
So, I am Placid Demon 13, also known as Joe.
I am Fuzzy Blade, also known as Seth, and this has been your Monday morning podcast.
Morning.
Yeah, morning. Don't worry, guys. This will be put up on YouTube and archived if you missed it, because we are now starting the studio era of the podcast. So technically, season 2, the debut will not be on YouTube. It'll only be this episode and going forward, and that'll be put up tomorrow before the stream.
And as always, live long and game on.
Good night, everybody.